I'll need to have you just listen in on my stream for a hot second and just make sure that everything's good and that the visuals are good. Oh, what are we using for this? Are we just theater of the minding this, or are we using something? Okay.
Physical dice.
Hell yeah. I get to use my dice I got for Christmas from my Secret Santa coworker.
Nice.
Yeah. Thought I'd keep it simple. I just said D&D dice and like Star Wars or D&D stuff. So he got me a little model, a tiny, tiny model of a Star Destroyer,
Nice.
which is gonna take like tweezers and very precise um, tools to do, but it'll be kind of cool once I end up doing it.
Yeah, very nice.
And then I've ignored the food portion because I don't care for mint with chocolate. And it's like mint chocolate pretzels, and dear God, those three things together I do not want.
Philistine.
And then I have Lexus's dice here too because she doesn't play much, so I have 4 sets of dice.
Nice.
Mine are green and black, and yellow and purple, and white. All right, so let me boot this bad boy up. I should put personal Sheshiro.
Krishna.
No spoilers. Yeah, that would. Boy, howdy! If I keep that tag up and have that be a
Heard
new.
it here, guys. Don't spoil any of his story.
Yeah, don't spoil my personal character background. All right. Um, let's see. Persistent campaign roleplay. What other tags do we need? Probably not much else.
I have the history tag on.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna put completionist. No. Or competitive. That'd be an interesting tag to have on a D&D. Competitive tag.
On a one-player roleplay.
Well, you know, for the other sessions.
You versus me.
All right. Alrighty, here we are. Stream is up. I got my starting screen. Sitting here for a hot second. Okay. If you have a hot moment, swap over to swap over to my stream. Just well, I mean, I got my full. I've got my full face cam up. The lighting looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think I need to just move my camera in a more central spot, or maybe I could have my light moved over farther to the side. But, lighting's not, but there's a little shadow on my face here, but I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, it looks good.
Hey, sharing that sub. Cool, nice.
Who's Sharon?
Oh. Damn it, Sharon. Alright, how does this look?
Fight him, Sharon.
Alright, tell me how you think this looks. Come on, warmer light. Is my webcam compensating?
Maybe. Oh, nice. I just noticed you got character details popped up for that.
It's D&D Beyond plugin or something. Or yeah, overlay. Yeah.
Where you
Wait.
can see just how beat the fuck up Skarnir is.
Oh shit. I wonder how how do I change which campaign
Mm,
pops up?
true. Oh,
Oh
there's
boy,
a
howdy.
sign some.
Hey. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
She came in, she walked out.
Yeah, that's all that needed to happen.
Yeah. Oh boy. That's probably a Twitch setting. I probably gotta change that.
Oh, for the campaign thing.
Yeah. Oh, D&D Beyond interactive overlay. I'm gonna click that. I already have that on my channel. Visible, yes. Build extension. Nope. Turn it back on. Oh boy. I wonder if it's just the first campaign on my campaign list.
Like change the order of what's at the top.
Oh, never mind. That's not even the first campaign
Hmm.
on my campaign list. Uh, hmm. Well, I could do more Googlings.
Eh, that's something that you can take care of at a future date.
Yeah. I'm not super concerned about it right now.
Hmm. So, you ready? We can start.
Um, I suppose you're probably just gonna leave yours on. Yeah, you got a nice whole thing going here. I just have my giant face. You prepared. I didn't. Um,
It was the part of
oh
the
boy.
pack I got.
True. Yeah, you did do that, didn't you?
Got my
I
nice
could.
tavern keeper layout.
So let's see. What do I have? I could just display because I don't have a webcam pointed at my dice either.
Oh, right.
Let me.
Separate cams. I have two webcams, I think. I could probably set something like that.
Nice. Let me just.
No,
I
I'm
really
a
don't
DM.
have any.
I don't want to show my dice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you fucking doing? Is this your first time DMing? God damn.
DM screen. I was like, wait, what? No.
I like the warmer color on my face better.
Yeah, the warm looked good.
I'm just gonna pump it to max warm. Nice golden light. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Nice golden glow. All
Mirror
right.
you?
Yes.
Nice.
You know what? I can just have my face sitting on here for this probably.
Yeah.
Because oh, you know what I said I was gonna do? I'm gonna do this, and then gonna add temporarily screen capture. Oh wait, I can just add a browser.
Oh, have it like
No,
your character sheet or something?
yeah, I'm just gonna slap my character sheet up on the screen.
Gotcha.
Actually, I'm just gonna screen cap my main screen because main monitor. Wait, am I adding a new source? Nope. Scene source. Screen one. Hey, I like that.
Nice.
And then I can move all my other shit so that I can still do this. Whoops. Get that guy out of there. I'm really good at this stuff.
Knocking it out of the park.
And then I can minimize that a little bit because that doesn't need to be the full screen. Look at some of my desktop icons. Very nice, very nice. I can pop this ugly guy up for a bit,
Oh, you're not ugly.
but I'm not pretty. You know what? We'll do this. Swap that to the other side.
Remember, ladies don't find you handsome. He's find you handy.
That's true. And you know what? Because Lena has such impeccable timing. Um, give me a hot minute.
Will do.
Lena has she just barked. She has to go outside.
But it's cold outside.
Is there? Huh?
But it's cold outside.
I that's what I keep telling her. Um, man, I wish you could hear these things. I keep trying to fuck with you with Metal Gear Solid alerts. Okay. Oh, hi. Hello. All right. If you're
Hi.
gonna go outside, that's gonna be like your bathroom trip, and then you're gonna chill for a while. Okay. All right.
You realize you're talking to a dog younger than 1 year. There is no such thing as
Absolutely.
chill.
I make the rules. All right. Be right back.
Look at me. Look at me.
I have my pro screen.
I'm
Hold on.
vamping now.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna flip to your screen. I'm looking at you.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
I'm looking at
It's
you.
a meme.
I know.
Shut your
All right. I'll be
face.
right back. Give me a few minutes. Stream. Listen to Steven vamp for a few minutes. Okay. He's really good at vamping. While I put on some lo-fi music or something.
I don't know what vamping is. I don't know what vamping is. Uh there once was a man from Nantucket. Feet were too big for his bed. Is that vamping? Oh, a lot of pressure. Hello, Alex's stream. I bet you're wondering why I've gathered you all here. Yeah, I really got nothing beyond rambling. Ugh. That's sad. Background music. That's set up. that's definitely not damping. Yeah, no.
She peed and then immediately just sat.
Nice.
So she was clearly just... She just goes out there, and apparently when I'm gone, she'll sit out there and stare at where my vehicle usually is. And she does the same thing with Lexus. She'll just stare at where the vehicles usually are. So she was just waiting to see if Lexus was just going to show up.
Nice.
That's not happening for at least another, 7.5, 8 hours.
Can you go to my stream and tell me how the
I'm always
volume
there.
is?
Oh, yeah, let me mute the music I've got going. And stream, I'm going to mute you real quick because I don't want to have echo. Okay. I am going to put you at your stream at half volume.
Sound all right?
Yeah.
All right.
I will say this. So, what I hate about my headphones that I have is they have a volume slider, an independent volume slider that obeys no rules. And I heard myself for a second after I unmuted the Twitch tab. So with my headphones about half volume and then the Twitch page about half volume, the music was quiet enough that it wouldn't overshadow anything, but like I heard myself way louder than you.
Okay.
So
yeah, I usually dunk my satellite volume down a bit just because my voice has a tendency to peak.
okay, yeah. Let me just talk a little bit so I can hear myself real quick. Okay, now you go.
Now you go.
Yeah, I'm like 4 times louder than you. Like, you can hear me very clearly. You can barely hear you.
Interesting.
You're gonna wanna just make me quieter on Discord, maybe, and then just well, no, never mind, because then you won't.
Maybe
be able to actually hear
this
me.
does it. There was a secondary thing, audio output capture. Now let's see how this goes.
Okay, so I'll test 1 2, and then you say test 1 2, test 1 2.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Okay, we were a lot more even that time.
Yeah, because I noticed the audio output capture, it was like a secondary one I had for the voice mod. It was disobeying all the rules, and it was just at no buffer, whereas the regular desktop audio is buffered.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
that should have us more equalized.
Yeah, it was a lot more equalized at the end there. I'm gonna click this, and then I might just put myself into stream hell here, but I'm gonna unmute mine at half volume, and I'm gonna have you say a few things just so I can compare our voices on there. So so I'll do test 1 2, and then you do test 1 2, test 1 2.
Test 1 2.
I think that was pretty even.
Nice.
If not, hopefully someone will come along eventually and tell us it's
like,
not.
dude,
Otherwise,
what are you doing?
yeah. What is this pro stream? No, it's just best we can do. What are you eating? I saw that. What are you eating?
Nothing? Not eating
Think I don't
anything?
have your? You think I don't have your screen up? I do all the time. Just kidding. I'm gonna put you behind my Streamlabs again.
I was gonna say, like, I've got my Streamlabs up on the main monitor since I've just got, the face cam thing. And then your other one, I've got your character sheet. So I suppose I can probably
Flip flop everything, but I don't want to, so I'm gonna be
there we
staring
go.
off to the side.
Oh, nice. D&D Beyond does resize the page. Your character sheet, it resized it to the half screen.
No, I did that.
No, on my monitor.
Oh.
When
Your monitor.
Yeah. Like, let me show you real quick. I'll switch my Streamlabs over to... See?
Oh, it snapped half and half. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it automatically adjusted the ratio.
Look at you not using dark mode, you fucking madman. God. What an animal. No dark mode? God. Alright, you can take my ugly mug off your screen now. Oh boy. Alright. Well, I really wish it would, I really wish it would swap campaigns, but,
Eh.
Oh well. That's why I got my character sheet on the screen. It's fine, yeah. Fuck it. I think we're ready. But as I say that, I'm going to dump out a bunch of dice.
Nice.
How jarring is that on the ears?
Absolutely not at all.
This time. All right.
Ready to start when you are.
I got 2 piles of dice and 2 finger guns. Bang, bang.
I'm making a note here. Huge success.
It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
Yeah. Got all your notes for the session 0 that I want to bring up. And how to run.
Make that a little bit bigger. Great. Huge success. You know what? Let's just... No. You know what? I'll just keep that in the bottom right. That's fine. We don't need to see the bottom right of my screen. I've already shown enough desktop as it is. I could slap a random image on my screen too.
All right, ready? Or are you still
Yes.
fiddling around?
At this point, I'm just fucking around putting a random picture up on my last portion of my free screen. I am ready to listen.
Gotcha. All right. We will enter the scene. It is short walk.
Oh, you saw that, did you?
It's not what I was expecting to see when I looked over.
You gave me this image. I'm gonna fucking use it. You gave me this. Wait for it. Hold on.
Oh man.
It's not staying there. Hold on.
That caught me off guard. Really?
You just relaxing up there. You're just hanging out. You're just hanging out. That's all you're doing.
Chilling.
You're just chilling.
Just chilling. Okay. Well, in the midst of all that, I gained a viewer and lost a viewer.
You know what? I don't blame him.
So, anyway, scene cuts in. Short while after dusk, the elven city of Urselenor is settling in for their dinners, and some people are turning into sleep. Night birds are singing, and this usually quiet town is suddenly a lot louder than it usually is. Off in the distance, you hear alarm bells, dogs barking, and people shouting. And roll me an acrobatics check.
Oh, starting spicy. Right. Ooh, that is spicy. 18.
Nice. From a back alley, we see a gnome sprinting and jumping over a couple of crates. And I will have you describe Obsidian for us.
All right. Yes, a gnome. At this point in his life. There, I made it better.
Nice.
He is. He's in his 70s, so he's still pretty spry for a gnome. As we all know, obviously, gnomes can live up to anywhere from 300 to 400 years in the setting that we're in. I believe that's still the correct approximation. So 70 is still pretty spry. 70 is like, I don't know, what would you say, 25 probably.
That's math, and I don't want to do math.
Yeah, so he's a spry youngster, but he's got some years under him because he's a gnome. He's what did I say? He's about 3'4". I don't mind bringing up these descriptions. That's fine by me. 3'5". He's 3'5". He's got hazel eyes. His hair is an amber gold. If you've ever seen honey from wildflowers, from bees that have gotten him from more wildflowers than pollen, I think it is. It's kind of that amberish. It's a real dark golden reddish hue, not super red, but yeah, it's an amber gold. He likes to wear flashy clothes sometimes, but right now he is in his a darker attire. He's wearing his mottled kind of browns, the splash of green and yellow, and he's got his hat. He's got a hat. very similar to the little portrait there in the corner. He's got a bit of a beard, and a nice hat.
All right.
I'm not going to go into detail on all the buckles he has,
Well, as Obsidian leaps over these crates, knocking a couple of loose apples and various fruits off to the ground, he holds on to his very nice hat as he lands on the main thoroughfare and begins sprinting on his way out of town. From back down the alley, you hear more dogs and more men shouting. You see darkened silhouettes against lit windows peeking out, seeing what all the commotion is. As these elves in the sleepy town, Porcelain, catch sight of a chase as guards are doing their best to catch up to the spry little gnome who has just attempted to rob one of the local lords. What'd you try to take?
What did I try and take? Oh boy. What does this guy have for his specialty items? I probably would have tried to take something like a fancy vase.
Fancy vase. Interesting.
Yeah, something that
breakable.
looked expensive, but something that you could get rid of. Something I could fence quickly.
All right. Are you known for taking vases? Is this something you usually do?
No, it's whatever. It would be whatever looks valuable, but is not super unique. You know what I mean? I want to be able to sell this shit without being like, that's this guy's, and you're gonna get busted for it. If that makes any sense, or if that doesn't make sense, then it can be something unique, but something easily fencible.
Okay.
As long as it's easily fencible, I need to get rid of this shit fast.
You get your hands on a very nice vase. It's not the nicest vase in the manor to which you broke into, but it's definitely unique enough to where a fence would be, I want that.
Good.
As you were extricating yourself from the manor, the Lord's guards stumbled upon you. Did you leave the vase, or did you bring it with you?
I would have tried to bring it.
All right. Roll me a dexterity save.
All right, dex save. Ooh, boy howdy, 19.
19.
This
All
dice is nice.
right. As you're running along from another one of the side alleys, a couple of guardsmen crash through, pushing a box over, knocking some baubles out onto the ground. You manage to keep your footing and not drop the vase. You hear the elves shouting, reaching for you, but you're just barely out of reach. You can see the edge of town getting closer. You're almost there. Roll me an athletics check.
Right. Athletics, huh? Ooh, this is gonna be a yikes. Oh, the dice is nice. That's, even with -1, that's 15.
Nice. You're starting to pant. The exertion of running at least halfway across this town while carrying a vase that's about a third the size of you are. It's starting to take its toll, but the adrenaline is pushing you, and you keep going. And before long, you make it to the tree line and start to work your way into the dense Alcrian woods. Roll me a stealth check.
Okay. If this changes anything, the way you want me to roll these, I forgot to mention. So it's, gnomes are typically like, somewhere like 3-4 to like, or it was like 3 something to like, maybe 3'6". So he's a little bit taller for a gnome, but he's not like the tallest. He's also they're anywhere from like 30ish to 40ish pounds. He's 50 pounds. He's a hefty boy. He's a little overweight. He doesn't try to get caught. He tries to talk his way out of shit and like slip by.
All
So
right.
this is like he is like panting. He's like, "Oh fuck." Oh boy, that was a stealth.
Yep.
Oh boy, good thing I'm sneaky boy. That's 13 total.
13. You start, like, as soon as you make it to the tree line, you immediately break off, start changing your path up, trying to break line of sight, and begin to take your time. You hear the guards and their hounds reach the tree line as well. A number of them start spreading out across the connecting roadways. Some start to go into the tree line as well. You can hear a couple starting to make their way in your direction.
Okay. Can I? Is there a river or anything nearby that or is this just like a forested area?
You said you still had the 3 maps.
Oh yes.
If you pull up the Alcria map, on sort of the up end of the map, not upspin, the top of the map, there's the Elven capital, but if you go below that, there's Oakenfort and a small town just south of it, or upspin of it.
Oh yeah, the little okay.
That's the town you're in. So you're near the lake.
Ah, okay. I will well that's not really like a river I can cross though. But there are tree lines that are just kind of like small enough that they're not dotted on that map.
Yeah.
Okay, I will make towards the lake, the direction of the lake.
All right, making your way towards the lake.
Yes.
Even for a gnome your size, well, for a gnome your size, you're a hefty gnome.
Mm-hmm.
One of your smaller, sprier counterparts would probably have an easier time, but this underbrush is very dense, much in the manner that the Alcrian mainland tends to be. Very left to its own devices, wild growth, and you push through the underbrush, doing your best to hold on to this breakable object. But it's slowing you down, and you hear, getting closer, the sounds of a hound.
Shit. Can't carry this much further. I'm gonna I'm gonna try and like douse this thing in my scent. I'm gonna like rub the vase like on my armpits kinda. Yeah, I'm gonna try and like really get its like my scent on it. And then I'm gonna leave it at the base of like a very climbable tree. And then I am gonna take off like in a 90-degree angle the other direction. I'm gonna go. So I'm heading east. I'm gonna start angling south.
All right, roll me another stealth check.
Ooh, all right. Stealth. Ooh, not as nice. 14. Well, better than my other stealth roll.
Okay. As you're making your way along, you're going faster now that you've left the vase. You hear the hound and one of the guards make it to the tree. Let's see. Not speak Elvish.
Ooh.
The guard
Oh, I have to
calls
change
something.
since we I kind of assumed that the Dwarvish would be good before I asked you, so I'm gonna take that off because we said that was not gonna be a freebie thing.
Oh, yeah,
I had to take that off.
gotcha. You hear the guard call something out in Elvish. And then he says something else. You don't understand it, but you get the sense that he's giving an order to the hound. And the hound begins to run off again. Coming your direction.
My direction. Okay. I would like to. Oh, I never determined. I'm supposed to have a little tinkery toy thing, because I'm a rock gnome, but I never determined what that was. Should I just say it's like a little like toy thing?
Yeah, I'd imagine it's
Or no,
probably.
I have a bell. It says I have a bell from Adventuring Gear. I don't remember what pack that came out of, but I have a bell. I'm gonna. How do I Okay, that's awesome. I have a bell and string. So what I want to do, because rogues start out with a short bow, Can I tie a bell onto the end of an arrow?
Roll me dexterity.
Alright.
Not a dexterity save, just straight dexterity.
Yeah. Oh, that's dog shit. That's a 5 total.
You're having a hard time getting that knot.
Oh boy, howdy. Well, I think the dog might fall for it if I just chuck it. I'm chucking the bell back towards town, back west. I want to try and make the dog think I looped back. If the dog is smart enough to, the dog's not smart enough to know that. I'm gonna try and make the handler think that I looped back by baiting the dog west.
So you're chucking the bell?
I'm chucking the bell.
Roll me strength.
I don't know why I have this, and I don't need it. As far as I know, I don't need it. Oh, that's even worse. That's 2. That's 3 minus 1.
You throw it. It hits a tree about 3 feet in front of you and falls to your feet.
No.
With a nice silvery ting ting ting.
Oh, that backfired so bad.
And generally, the bell, you either use it to, like, this is tangential. The bell is usually either for signaling your position, or you can tie it to the string to set up a perimeter around a camp. So if somebody trips the bell, you can get alerted saying somebody's here.
Oh man, yeah. Well, it was supposed to alert my. It was supposed to signal my location, just over there.
Well, it signaled something.
It did. Okay. So is it like 2 feet away from me? Like this thing
It's
went nowhere.
in front of you. Like it
All right,
fell
I'm
into
just
the
gonna
underbrush, but you'd be able to pick it back
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna scoop it up real quick. I might try this bullshit again later. And then can I just? Sorry, go ahead.
You hear the dog.
Oh boy, it sounds like it's probably close. Huh?
It's getting uncomfortably close.
Oh, schniggles. Shnikes. I need to climb a fucking tree, I think. I need to climb a tree.
Right around the time you think that, about 20 feet away from you, from the underbrush, you see a large mastiff pounce through, scan around, and lock eyes with you. And it just snarls.
I pull out some rations, and I kind of hold it out and I throw it on the ground towards the dog.
Roll me survival.
Oh boy, okay.
Actually, animal handling. Roll me animal handling.
Okay, does that roll still count?
What'd you get? You didn't tell me, so sure.
Well, either way, it's 17. It's the same for both, and I rolled 16 on the dice plus 1 for either.
You distract the dog momentarily.
Great. If it's distracted momentarily, then instead of climbing the tree, do the trees look like is this canopy like thick? Like, could you jump from branch to branch if
They
you're a light enough
are
character?
tall oak trees. The
Oh,
nearest branch is going to be about 20 feet above you.
oh, well then that's not gonna happen anyway with my pudgy boy self. So we're gonna slink away.
All right. Slinking, how quick are you going? Are you trying to lose the dog, or...
Um, yeah, I'll say for one full turn because I think rogues can dash at level 1.
I mean, anybody can dash. It's just a matter of
Sorry, I meant
taking
like
the
as a
action.
bonus action. No, never mind. They don't get
That's
cunning
level
actions
2.
until level 2. Right. So I'm gonna full turn run for one round. I would full run to the south, and then I'll sneak into a sneak.
All right. Roll me your choice, acrobatics or athletics, followed by a stealth.
Acrobatics. Yeah, acrobatics. That was blocked on a thing. That was not a good roll. That was literally no better. So 9 for the acrobatics.
9. All right. You're running through. You can feel the slope changing as you're making your way closer towards the lake. You're trying to adjust for it, but between the slope change and the underbrush, you get caught. And what was the stealth check?
That I did not roll. Well, that's not bad. That's 18.
18. All right. You trip. Roll me another acrobatics check.
Okay. 8.
8. All right.
Keep tripping.
As you're going through the underbrush, you sort of tuck to try and roll into like some of the underbrush to hide. Your line's still, hands around your head, trying to make yourself as small as your Olod gnome body can manage. And you don't hear the dog.
Okay.
Roll me a
I'm going to.
perception check.
Okay. 7.
You don't hear anything. You hear birds. That's about it. You don't hear the guards. You don't hear the dog.
Can I roll a personal intelligence check to see what I would do next
Sure.
for flavoring? Ooh, that's a high roll. Okay. That's 18 total. If I just, or no, sorry, that's with saving throw. That's 16. You know what? I would realize that I would probably hear the dog regardless, so I'm gonna go something's up instead of doing my next panic move. I'm gonna go something's up. Do you say I was just like on the ground?
Yep.
Or
Like, as you were tripping over the brush, you tucked yourself, make yourself as small as possible to hide in the brush.
okay, okay. So I am going to cautiously poke my head out of the brush.
You do that, and as you poke your head out of the brush, you see a slight clearing in the woods. Almost like you've entered into, like, a small little garden. Trees have been cleared away. There's some flower patches scattered around. And up in the trees that are there, you see little motes of light weaving in and out of the leaves. And as your eyes are following all this, you see a white dove just sitting on one of the branches, just staring right at you.
What time of day was it again?
A little after dusk. So the light, so context for the Ringworld doesn't really have extended evening. So it's
quick.
night.
Okay.
But it's been night for about maybe 45 minutes.
Okay. So did hello, little dove. There's a Is this your garden?
The dove tilts forward, leaves the branch, and swoops off.
Oh, that wasn't much for hospitality. No dogs, huh?
Yes, you still do not hear sounds of pursuit.
Should have kept that ration. Well, Obi will make his way out of the bush, and he will he'll walk to the garden carefully.
Right. Roll me a nature check.
Solid 10.
Nice. It looks like it still looks kind of wild, but you get the feeling that it's still maintained. Everything is just slightly too organized to be the randomness of nature, and the surrounding foliage isn't quite what you remember of the Alcrian woods. As you step onto the sparse cobblestone pathway leading around this little glade, there's a couple of hedges set up. They're not trimmed, they still look wild growth, but similarly oddly maintained. And the pathway leads through a little opening.
I'm gonna take out my map.
You take out your map.
I'm gonna squint at it real hard as to where I know myself to be, and I'm gonna go, I don't have any notes about this on my map. I'm gonna scribble a tiny flower icon, like a little symbol. I'm gonna go, fuck. Make a note of it, a more detailed note later. And then you said there's like a little archway. I will approach the archway still cautiously, because as far as I mean, there's probably a new, I don't know, an elf probably made a house out here. Since last time I was here, I don't know. Yeah, I'll approach cautiously and slowly.
All right. You approach. Um, you see a little trellis spanning it, with some wildflower vines growing up and through it. And you reach the edge of the hedges, and the cobblestone pathway leads inside.
Okay. Is there like a hut or anything? Is there like a any dwellings within this area?
Peeking around the corner, you see. Getting a phone call from my dad. Sorry, Dad, I'll call you back. You see no hut, but it looks like a nice. This area is definitely maintained. Like, you see some stonework, benches, and within, you also see a writing desk and a chair. And sitting at the writing desk is a man. I sent you a picture in the Discord of the man you see. And he's just sitting at the desk, writing in what looks to be a leather-bound notebook, lit up by some more of the floating motes of light. And the dove from earlier is sitting on the back of his chair.
Okay. I'm gonna take off my outer jacket. Underneath, I have more of a an outfit that's more yellows and greens than the mottled brown of the outside. I'm gonna throw the kind of outer jacket in my backpack and gonna approach this guy, and he said he's writing at a desk.
Yep. Within this garden, there is just a nice oak wood writing desk that you would normally find in a study.
Good evening. Good evening.
The man perks up, looks over his shoulder. His eyes look rather tired, and he's genuinely surprised to see you. He looks back at the bird, said, "I thought you were joking when you said that somebody had entered." He turns around and eyes you warily. "Good evening. To what do I owe the pleasure of a late-night visit?"
Oh, out for a walk. From Oak, from the Oaken Fort.
Or Selenor. There we go. The town just off to the side of Oakenfort.
Right, I forgot. From Orselenor, I'm not native to these woods. Got a little turned around.
Turned around indeed, he says with a slightly wry smile. It has been quite some time since somebody's just randomly stumbled into here.
Well, I mean, some time. What do you mean? I mean, this isn't on my map from my last visit.
I can't imagine it would be on any map.
Not even the locals?
Oh no, I like to keep myself somewhat secretive.
Well, those elves are mighty pious. Can I kind of lean over and look at his ears or his feature? He doesn't look like an elf, right?
He smirks a bit, and you can see his ears are rounded. He is human. Yes, the elves tend to be a little exacting when dealing with outsiders.
Yeah. You can't even borrow something without them trying to chase you down or something, you know.
That why
So,
you seem a little out of breath. You borrowed something.
uh, you know, he he didn't need it anyway.
Ah, I see. Well, stranger, could I interest you in taking a seat, and would you like any tea? Freshen up a bit.
Yes and yes.
Fantastic. Feel free to sit down on one of the benches.
Oh. All right. Um, I'm I'm Scuttle, by the way.
Scuttle?
Scuttle.
Curious name, but I will admit I haven't conversed with many gnomes, so who's to say?
Sidebar, Obi loves to lie about his name. He doesn't want people to know who he is, so he lies about his name all the time.
Well, pleasure to make your acquaintance, Scuttle. My name is Rourke. I'll be right back with the tea.
I don't believe for a second that he just told me his name, just so you know. I'm like, I didn't tell him my name. Why the fuck would he tell me his name? I just met this guy.
Uh, After about a minute or so, he comes back. He's got two carved wooden mugs, and you see some steaming liquid. And he hands you one of them as he sits down on a adjoining bench next to yours at a 90-degree angle. And he takes a sip.
What's in this?
Roll me a perception.
Alrighty. Oh, solid 4. This dice hates perception rolls.
You can't quite place the aroma, but it smells familiar. Like it's a smell you've smelled before, but you can't think of it off the top of your head. He sips contentedly at the mug. The dove comes and sits over on his shoulder. Oh, it's just a personal blend of mine. Nothing you need to worry about, Scuttle.
Does it have a little honey in it?
I can add honey, but otherwise I usually go without sweetener myself.
Guess I'll try it as is first. Honey it's just so delicious.
I can always grab you some.
You know, maybe later. He'll take a sip.
All right. Now you take a sip, and you're struck with the very warming scent and taste of pine needles. Rounded out with a couple of various wildflowers.
That is delightful.
I'm glad you think so. Got the pine needles just recently. So nice and fresh.
Of course, you know, if you have that old shite, it's just... I mean, they don't keep very long, so they gotta be fresh. Yeah, you know that.
Roll me a nature check.
Oh boy. Oh wow. 17.
The area of Alcria you're in right now is almost entirely deciduous. So no real pine trees scattered around.
Uh, that that being said, with the freshness, where did you get them? There's not. The elves don't really do pine.
I suppose, you mentioned Orselnor. Yeah, there's not too many pine trees in that area.
This area. This area.
Yes, yes. To answer your question, I got them just outside of Embershard,
Uh,
which is easily recognizable as the capital of Osifix.
yeah. Um, but how do you keep them? I'm assuming that they have to be like fresh. I have
Uh,
no clue how pine needles keep.
he points to a
Um,
satchel hanging on the chair.
does that keep them fresh? What's
For a couple days.
a couple days?
They start to dry out after about 3.
Well, right. How logistically could he get from here to there in 2 days? Like, can I
On
roll an
a...
intelligence check for that?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my own brain going like, okay, 13.
13. You think on a really speedy airship, he would probably be able to make it.
Do you have like a private charter or something?
He looks a
Where did
little
you land?
confused.
How did you get from there? He takes out his map again and he's like, what the fuck? From there to here. That's I wouldn't say not possible, but that's
Oh, many things are possible. Even if they don't seem so right out.
but like, did you like teleport? Like, are you a wizard?
Oh, goodness, no, I'm not a wizard.
Oh.
Huh. The dove sitting on the man's shoulder pecks his ear, and he winces a bit and pulls away. Sorry, I'm enjoying myself a bit. Sorry, he says as he changes his attention back to you. As I mentioned, it's been a while since I've had company, so I was admittedly amusing myself a bit. I'm going to assume you haven't quite pieced together who I am, which is understandable.
Well, I mean, the only part I think I've pieced together is that your name's definitely not Rourke, because why would you tell me that right away?
Because I have no reason to hide it.
Ooh. You know what? It's a fair point.
I just met you. Chances are I won't meet you again. Why would I lie to you about my name?
Why take the risk?
Why not? Seemed like an interesting fellow.
I suppose if nobody's looking for you, there's no harm, eh?
Tell you what, we can play a little game. I'll tell you something about myself, and you tell me something about yourself.
Oh, thank God I'm no good at five-finger fillet. Do we drink booze to this game? I don't. Lost my flask.
He reaches into his satchel and pulls out a wineskin.
Well, son of a bitch, you're prepared for everything.
I don't get out much. I need to have stuff tucked away.
Yeah. Okay. Now it's a game.
So, the name of the game is quite simple.
I've never played this game. I've never played Quite Simple.
I ask you a question. If it takes too long or you're obviously lying, you take a drink.
Oh boy.
If you tell the truth, you can take a drink if you want. It's good wine.
But if I tell a truth and take a drink, will you think I'm lying?
Who's to say? It's a fun little game of trust played between strangers. Like I
You
said,
say so.
I have nothing really to hide from you. Soon as you come across anything in particular that I do wish to hide, I'll take a drink.
Huh. Okay, so assuming you're a truthful fellow. All
Would you
right.
like to start?
I ask you.
Yes. Ask me anything you like.
What? How? Where are we?
We're here.
That is a good way to circumvent. Fuck. Well, shit. I mean, that's a truthful answer.
I
Son of
can
a
go
gun.
into any number of extra descriptions if you'd like, but we can wait for another round.
Yeah. Let me mulligan that one. That one was a foolishly unspecific question.
He gives a warm laugh, and you notice in some of the light drifting from the motes of light around you, he's got some salt and pepper in his beard, and as he's laughing, some of the bags under his eyes and the look of tiredness he has sort of lifts a bit. By all means.
Are we still outside of Enter Town name that I forgot because I'm bad at it?
Or Selenor.
Other. I'm just gonna put that. How do you spell it? O-R.
Orselenor.
Or Selenor. Okay. I'm gonna put south of Oaken Fort. Okay. Yeah. Are we still outside of Orselenor?
He thinks for a quick second, but not long enough to quantify the taking too long portion of the drinking stipulation. Yes and no. You got here south of Arselenor.
Yeah.
But right now, the easy answer is yes. We are still by Arselenor.
That means there's a complicated answer that's no. All right. I should just preemptively drink, but fire away.
Well, Scuttle, what's your last name?
I don't have one.
Nothing you use for signing legal documents?
That's the second question.
You got me.
But I'll answer it. I don't really sign legal documents. Really.
I can appreciate that. I haven't signed one in quite some time myself. Your next question.
What's the complicated no answer?
Huh. Getting right to the crux of it.
I'm quite curious about it.
The complicated answer is you are in my garden.
Oh, that's specific enough to be correct, but I still have questions. Um, shit. Do you feel like elaborating, or do you want to ask me another one? Well, you asked me two. I should ask you two.
I will give you that freebie.
Um, where is your garden other than here?
Hmm. Anywhere I feel like it in particular.
That, hmm, that doesn't answer a lot of questions
Like I said,
as much.
it's not a simple answer.
Oh boy. I see. Okay. Well,
It will make sense at some point during this game.
how many questions was this game? Because I might waste all of them on this one thing. Um,
Game goes
all
until
right.
you don't feel like drinking anymore.
Oh, that's a long time. Okay, go.
Hmm. Let's see. What did you borrow?
A vase
Hmm.
kind of gives like a sheepish like a like not like a I'm lying smile, like a it's pretty stupid.
He gestures his hand towards you.
Um, are you human?
Yes, I am human.
Okay.
Hmm. Why did you borrow a vase?
Because I don't think because he didn't need it.
Hmm. Your go.
Uh, huh. How how do you talk to the dove? Is it
Easy.
like a familiar?
Yes. Her name is
Oh,
Lisha.
Isha.
Say hello, Lisha. The dove pecks his ear again and flies off.
She's a cheeky little one.
Yes. Tell me about it. She's the only individual I've been able to converse with for quite a while.
Sounds
All
like a lot of
right.
one-sided conversations.
Not as one-sided as I would like.
Uh,
Where are you from, Scuttle?
uh, Ulyss.
Ah, Ulyss. I love the region, but I rarely ever go there.
Yeah, it's a it's a place, it's people.
Got some beautiful valleys, though.
It does that. It does. Some good sites underground, some good sites overground. It's all about knowing where to look, I suppose. Uh, yo, how long has your camp been here?
Specifically outside of Orselenor?
Yes.
Uh, looks at his... he looks up at the sky. About... Let's see... 35 minutes?
He looks around like, um, this looks pretty put together for 35 minutes.
I like to take it with me when I go.
Okay. Your turn?
Hmm. What's your favorite season?
I'd have to go with spring. I think spring. It's a lovely time, you know. Rebirth, flowers, good smells. Fall's not bad, but something about spring.
All right.
Um. Uh, hmm. How? 35 minutes, huh? Son of a bitch. Um. How old are you? You seem to be getting on in years.
Ah! He gives
Does he
a
look like pretty spry? Like you said, he
he
had salt
gives
and pepper,
a
but
he gives a healthy belly laugh at that one. Now we're getting into some of the fun nitty-gritty. Let's see. I am. He thinks about it.
I'd put you at 45, right? Humans, you got a little pepper.
You
Put you
flatter
at
me. Now, I'm thinking about it. I'm doing math. That's not me delaying and thus not requiring me to take a drink. You'll have to give me a second.
math.
I am 1,738. But I appreciate the guess at 45.
I'm gonna need more tea, and I'm gonna need a little honey. A
He
little honey.
he pours another flask of the pine tea and waves his hand and it starts to steam.
Okay.
You're familiar with the concept of prestidigitation.
Okay.
You've seen the parlor trick before. It can change the temperature of liquids.
That's right. He is a magic man. Well, I can't guarantee I'm not going to take my time on this next one, but go ahead.
So, I answered a pretty detailed question about myself, whether you believe it or not. What's your actual name, Scuttle?
That depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you.
Well, you'd have to ask the right person, but I don't know where they are. You can take your pick. Um, for simplicity's sake, let's say Obsidian.
Obsidian. Nice name.
It's the one I picked.
And that makes it a fine name. He gives you a warm, genuine smile.
I mean, technically, I pick all my names, but it's the one I actually picked.
Yes.
If it's the one that if I were to sign a legal document, that's what I would put.
Yes. If there were a demon trying to get your given name, like your soul name.
Oh. Who?
It doesn't need to be your birth name.
Who gives? I guess.
It's all about intent. And this isn't Rorik speaking it. This is me, DM.
Okay.
And the concept of given names.
I was about to get real philosophical.
No.
And go, who gives a soul name then?
Like, it's the same concept behind a threshold at a house.
Mm.
Like, if you consider it a home, any place can get a threshold.
Gotcha.
And you can pick a name, and if it's your name, it's your name.
Gotcha.
But Rorik gestures towards you, saying it's your turn.
boy, what do you dye your hair with? Because you should be, but what skincare do you use? You should be Bones.
I believe the technical term for it would be spite and rebuke.
Those are powerful motivators. Powerful.
And they're not mine.
Oh.
He holds up the wine and takes a sip. I'm thirsty.
Um.
All right. Are you well traveled?
Fairly. I mean, I haven't been to Vilrasmir, but who has been?
He raises his hand. I've taken a look.
Yeah,
And I'm going to
I
assume
get
that's
around.
not your question.
Well, if you want to count it, but otherwise, no.
He waves his hand.
Shit, what was the original questions I started asking? I was asking about where we are.
You asked how old he was.
Right. So, you're a human.
I am.
Over a millennium. So, what are you? Does that make sense in the context of what you've already shared? What are you?
No, yes, that makes complete sense. And once again, it's sort of a complicated answer.
Because I might need an entire wineskin to get over what I've heard tonight. I don't know how much you have, but I'm going to need a lot.
Well, tell you what, you can finish off that, and he reaches into the satchel, pulls out a smaller flask. He's like, I'll stick with this if need be.
Okay. Just gonna gingerly hold the flask.
Now, once again, my delay on this is consideration for how best to answer this. I am... he holds his hands out in front of him as though he's come to a simple conclusion. I am Rourke.
Okay.
If you want, you can roll a history check.
Yeah. That's a 9.
With a 9, unless you're mistaken, the current month is Rourke's harvest.
So you were named after the harvest season?
Ah! Oh, I like you, Gnome. No, you've got it backwards. The harvest season is named after me.
Oh boy. Pleasure then. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, because apparently that is an acquaintance worth making. If it was named after you, big drink.
But yeah, you can't quite pull out any particular details. You know the month is named in honor of an old influential person in Elysian history who helped bring nature and wildlife to the ring. But you can't think of any details beyond what you generally hear in, primary school.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I believe it's my question now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. I already asked what you borrowed, and why you borrowed it. Do you borrow many things?
Yeah, yes. I try. I try to borrow so many things. A lot of things, yes.
Yes, I believe in gnome. You look like you're about, what? Gonna say 78, 79, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 73 last I checked.
Hmm.
But yeah, you close, yeah. Wait.
That was a statement, not a question. You didn't need to answer.
Oh boy.
Your question.
I think I forgot my own age. Oh boy. Um. He's still trying to process all of like. He's trying to process the fact that he said this season was named after it. Like, from what little I can remember, that's a big thing. That's a lot. That's a big
Yes,
revelation, so to
there's
speak.
not many mints named after individuals.
Yeah, usually the
To be
people are named
precise,
after
there are three.
three what? Sorry.
3 months named after individuals in the Elysian calendar.
Oh. Um. Uh. Boy, how do you move camp?
Simple force of will.
Okay.
To be precise, magic.
To be vaguely precise. Yes, yes, magic would be the way, I guess. It seems you've set up pretty quick. I don't have you on my map, as I said.
I would be a little alarmed if any map had me.
Yeah, if you pick up and leave that quick, and you can just go wherever, that's quite the thing. Whew. Well, yeah, you go ahead. I
Did
thought
you
I was
ask a
inquisitive.
question?
I asked how you move camp.
Right. Sorry. Got a little distracted there for a minute. Let's see. Are you a religious individual, Obsidian?
Particularly, I I have a brother. Not a brother, but a brother of my choosing. He worships what's the goddess of light's name again?
Galwin.
He worships Galwin, and I think that's a fine choice. Um,
A fine choice indeed.
I don't have a particular interest in any one deity, really. Is there like a thief god?
Hmm. Are you asking in character or out of character?
Sorry, out of character.
Technically speaking, most rogues would probably worship Doran, who also has a month named after him. He's
Oh,
the wandering god, who's also considered the messenger god.
okay. I
In
go,
your
well,
travel, you
fine.
would be at least vaguely familiar with him,
Okay.
at least as a concept.
Okay. Well, I would say then. I suppose if I had to look up to somebody, it would probably be Doran.
Rourke scoffs a bit. Fair, but Doran's a little overplayed at this point.
Oh. Hmm. What do you mean overplayed?
Everybody worships him. Sailors, nomads, the occasional thief.
Your turn.
Let's see.
Unless you want to follow up.
Are you a thief?
Yeah. Yeah. I try. Try my best. What did you mean by what was the last thing you said? Like he was overplayed.
Sailors, nomads, thieves.
Oh, right. Who else would they worship?
Oh no, he's a fine choice. Especially for people that travel here and there.
Yeah, that's...
And here on Elysia, that's many people. So, next to Galwin, he's probably one of the most worshipped gods.
I mean, got the month.
Funny
named after him
story
and
about
everything.
how he obtained the rank of god, though. That's another story.
I would like to hear that because that is an interesting concept.
Oh, yes. He started, much as myself. Mortal, except he obtained his, in quotes, eternal life by just being so filled with wanderlust. Even after he died, he just walked back from the afterlife. And after a couple of times of the goddess Galwin sort of, picking him back up and saying, no, you're dead, stay here, he just kept wandering, and then eventually she said, fine, wander all you want, but you have to carry my mail.
That is an interesting story. So he just didn't want to die?
Oh, nobody loves traveling as much as him. Until he's seen every square inch of every possible surface on every plane of existence, he will not be satisfied sitting still.
Different planes, huh?
Oh, yes.
Well, I suppose that definitely would take an eternity.
And thus, his, in quotes, godhood. Now, are you familiar with other planes of existence?
I mean, like, out of character, like, I don't know. I probably would have heard about, other planes, but, like, probably wouldn't know a lot about them because I would not have probably studied them. So, right? Does that sound accurate?
Yeah.
I'm not super familiar, but I know that there are other planes.
All right. Your go.
Oh boy. What do you mean you said that Doran started like you. Well, wouldn't that do most people don't most people start like that, like mortal, or is there another step? What do you mean?
Oh.
is there a way to elaborate that? Started like you? What do you
Simply,
mean like you?
pretty much all the gods in the pantheon, and I will preface this. Part of why I asked why, if you were religious, I myself am not a god, nor am I claiming to
That
be one.
that was probably my next question.
That's some heresy I'd rather not deal with.
Hmm.
All of the gods in the Elysian pantheon started out as mortals, including Galwyn herself.
Oh.
The most recent of which being Thorn, the Forge god.
How long has he been a deity?
A couple hundred years. Oh, wait, no. Uh, I want to say 600. It was before that new capital got built.
Ah.
Hmm. Have you ever had any dealings with the Fae?
Can't say that I have. No. Unless you count Fey folk like the elves.
No. The Fae. Proper Fae.
No.
You'll go.
Whoa. There's a month named after you. You're over a millennium. Boy, you have a sassy bird.
Ah!
Oh boy.
Ah, ah, ah.
What?
The dove chirps from up in the tree.
Oh, sorry, that's the impression you give off.
Oh no, you're not wrong. He covers his ears. And then after
Why
a
is he
couple...
covered?
the bird has pecked his ears twice. He keeps them
Okay.
covered for only a couple seconds.
Okay. Do, what's do you have a profession that you would what would you consider your profession?
That's a very good question. Technically speaking, I'm a druid. More specifically, as I am actually hired for a job. I'm a sculptor.
Oh. Sculptor. Okay. Okay. Huh.
Indeed. I can't think of anything particular off the top of my head. I'll give you another question.
Uh, I mean, have you ever stolen anything?
He smiles, a very light smile, the kind where ever so slightly the edge of his mouth tilts up a bit. To quote you, it depends on who you ask.
Okay.
Would you like another question?
Yeah. Who would say yes? Who would call you a thief?
He sets his little mug of tea down and tilts his flask back. That is a fun question. I believe the ones who would call me a thief be the goddess Galwyn and Queen Titania of the Summer Court of the Fae.
Okay. Down the rest of that flask.
Now,
and then sip some more tea.
question.
Uh-huh.
How would I like to phrase this? You have multiple names.
Yeah.
It depends on who you ask for what you go by.
Yeah.
You give the impression of enjoying getting into characters.
Yeah.
Wandering thief, man of many faces. I can appreciate that. He sets his flask down. I am going to call an end to the game for the time being. And we can simply speak frankly. I was hired by the goddess Galwyn. This bit isn't widely known. It's very early history of Elysia. The aspect of sculpting is I was hired to build the ring, not the metal and flashy bits that even now I still don't understand after all these years being in close proximity to a number of bits. The surface, the mountains, the seas. That was me.
Oh.
And I won't go into too much detail just because, in part, I'd rather not speak of a number of it. And the more I tell you, you might potentially be at risk yourself. I enlisted the help of the Fae. Because, well, even for me, the task of sewing life across a ring like this was quite the task, and he gestures to his slightly graying beard. It was getting to be a little too much for just me to handle. And thus, I approached the Fae. We struck a deal where they would help finish up a lot of the finer details, the macro sculpting, sewing the greenery and the animal life. And, well, I had thought, foolishly at the time, that as a little bit of whimsy on their part, they would even extend my life so that way I could see the finished bit of the project. Well, oh, what a fool I was, and I will always be. Everything comes at a price. And as such, the Fae have been considering me a person of interest for some time. Now, back to the game, and my question for you.
Yeah.
Would you like a job?
Yeah. Yeah. I could do with some work, I guess. Yeah.
Very good.
Kind of.
I would, of course, be happy to compensate you and provide you with benefits as befitting your post. But
Sure. Uh, what kind of work we talking about? I have a skill set. I mean, I know not everyone is suited for every job. But I try my best.
and it's the changing faces and character building of yours that I'm interested in. You
Ah,
see,
okay.
as I mentioned, my camp here has been in this location for, about now an hour or so. I need to jump it every dawn and every dusk. It gets very inconvenient. See, my job isn't quite finished yet. I still have work left to do. But needing to relocate every day, twice a day, gets to be inconvenient while working. And so I need somebody who's able to travel a bit more freely than I, and remain relatively unknown, which is where you
Uh,
come in. I would
yeah.
extend part of my job to you, and in your travels, you would take up some of my work. Now, of course, as soon as my work starts to pick up in various more predictable locations, that's not a magical garden hopscotching across the ring, the Fae might take notice. Which, full disclaimer, might potentially put you at risk. But you change your name and change your face every once in a while. That would help you keep some distance between the prying eyes of the Fae and yourself, and continue to more concretely sow a bit more life into this world.
Mm. That's sounds like a big task.
Big task
Uh,
for a small individual? You might just be the person I need.
I can try my best.
Now, it doesn't need to be anything major. I'm not asking you to literally move mountains or anything. But there are parts of this world that could use a breath of fresh air. And I would like for you, in your travels, to pay attention for some of these more uh, lacking areas and so a bit of greenery. I've got seeds I could hand you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, as you
Uh, s-
go, plant a seed.
um,
And of course, as I mentioned, I'm happy to help whatever way I can. I'll oh, provide you with, a boon here and there.
yeah, I could do that.
Another full disclaimer, I'm not endorsing theft, but what you do with your own abilities is your own purview. I'm in my glade, minding my own business. So long as you don't
Yeah.
thank me or leave trademarks
Oh,
that
okay.
implicate me in any way.
Don't name drop then. Got it.
At least not while stealing.
I
Or,
was going to do
pardon
it
me,
while giving.
borrowing.
Oh, no, no, no.
Well, giving.
I was going to do the name drop while giving.
Oh.
I
What sort of things would you give?
those things I borrow, um I redistribute. I would say I am less of a thief. It's such a crass word, thief. It's not, it doesn't get to the point, you know? I would say I am a redistributor of wealth. That's how I'll put it. Yes,
He
that is the most honest way I can put it.
he gives you an appraising look. And for the first time in the conversation, you feel like he's really dissecting your words.
How s- how s- how strong is that wine, and how much have I really had?
Roll me Constitution.
Oh boy, that's a total of a Constitution save.
Yes.
Or well, either way, it's the same thing. That's a total 20.
20. You're holding the alcohol well.
All right. Well, either way, it's kind of it's getting to the point where like this is a lot, and like and Obadiah or Obsidian is
Obadiah.
Obi. Obadiah. That's one of my fake names. Ob- Obsidian is he's kind of he's staring at his hands, and he's kind of just he's twirling in his hands a pendant that he took out from around his neck. Um and he's he's considering all this, and he's holding the liquor well, but at the same time he's just kind of giving out just a little more. He's just kind of talking, um not specifically to Rourke, but but to Rourke.
To the room.
Yeah. um um he's talking to Alicia. He he's like, some people are just born into just luxury, and just, they're born into power and wealth. They never earned. They don't deserve. Some people are some people my people were like dust in the wind. Nobody cares. Nobody Nobody cares for people like us.
All
Nobody
right.
does anything to help them. I do.
A reasonable approach.
You ever been to you've been all over. You ever been down to the you've been all over. Recently, you've been down to the bottom of the ring.
I generally stick to the surface.
All those shit-eating dwarves down in their fancy houses and their fancy mansions, and it's not just dwarves. There are ones on the surface too like that, up in their fine castles and estates. They don't care for little people. Figuratively. Halflings, gnomes, other humans, other dwarves, elves. Those that have nothing, they don't care. They don't care about us. They don't need all that they've got. So if you give me this power, whatever this gift is you're gonna give me, I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna let you know right now before you make a decision you might regret. I'm gonna take what they have. I'm gonna give it to people that need it.
All right. I suppose that's a fair trade-off, whether I agree with it or not. You are your own person. You may make your own choices while going through life.
Yeah,
So,
I know what I've been through, and I know it's not the best, but I'm gonna make it better for others. God damn it. Jeez. All right. Do we give me? Oh, she's not gonna stop.
Bark. We
At
can
this
take a quick
climactic
hiatus.
moment, yeah, let's take a hot second at this moment. I'll be right back. Nina, it's dark in here. Hey, can you take a potty while you're gardening with the neighbor? She's just having fun barking at the neighbors because, of course they have their lights on.
Hmm.
So she's like, I gotta bark at somebody. I can
Bark.
see people in the window. So I'm just gonna let her sit out there for about 2 minutes. I'm gonna check on her real quick.
That's
Man,
fair.
she had such good timing.
At
Right, right after my speech.
least it wasn't during.
Yeah. Oh man. I realized I forgot to turn on a light out there, so I'm pretty sure she's just been napping in the dark for like an hour. Like an hour and a half.
So,
Which is
holding
great, but
off
I'm
on
pretty
picking
sure.
up until she's back inside.
Yeah. Don't want to get back into it just for in a minute for her to be like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
back inside. In fact, I'm going to go make sure that she's not standing at the door. Because I don't know if she has to go potty, but yeah. I'm just going to let her out there for another minute. Can't take too long though because it's probably feels like I don't know. It says it's 7 outside. It probably feels like -5 at least. I don't know. All right, I'll be right back. I don't have treats.
Why no treats?
Whoops. Jostled my entire desk. Nice, I'm a pro.
Nailed it.
Alright. Headphones are back.
Why no treats?
Because I gave her a bunch earlier. I did some training with her earlier. I'll do more later.
All right. After your
Alright,
speech,
yes.
he considers. He's like, very well. As I said, you're a living sentient being. You may do whatever you wish. All I ask is that you carry out the end of the bargain I request.
Right. Plant some seeds.
Fairly simple.
Uh,
And, little subsection, should you come across in your travels any fae that happened to end up finding out who you are and who you work for, i.e. me, do not, under any circumstance, kill them where I am.
Outside of, you mean, outside of, Orselenor?
Anywhere.
Ah,
Once you're in my employ, you will have at least a vague concept of where I am at any given time. At least when you think on it.
okay.
And at the very least, the power you would gain from this deal could potentially be used to trace back me. And should the Fae end up finding me and exacting some of the payment that they feel I still owe, that would subsequently mark an end to our partnership.
Yeah.
And thus,
Dock
no
it
more
from
power.
the pay, as it were.
Yes. So, no more me, no more abilities. So,
Well,
think of it as high stakes tree planting.
I see.
Oh, doggo.
I had to for a second. Why are you biting my chair?
I was gonna say, what is she doing?
Just gnawing at my chair.
Do you find that amenable?
Yeah, plant some trees, mum's the word.
Good. He holds out his
not a
hand.
particular fan of mums, but hey, what are you doing back there? Sorry, I had to get her out.
Never should have come here.
I'll just, this isn't the thief you're looking for. I'll do one of those.
He doesn't bat an eyelash at the joke, just continues to hold out his hand.
To wipe his sweaty hand on his trousers a second. Sorry. All right, and going for the handshake.
As you shake his hand, you feel, thick calluses, rough skin, hands that have worked the earth for many years. And his grip is easily enough to, like, fully encase your, smaller gnome hand. But he's still... It's firm, but he doesn't make a deal out of the fact that his hand is bigger and his grip is stronger. It's a very comfortable handshake. And as soon as you grasp it and shake once, you feel a little spark, and the garden around you suddenly feels more vibrant and alive. Like, the scents are fresher. Like, you hear the animals, like the insects and the songs they're singing in the evening, a lot more clearer. And you feel more in tune with the world around you.
So it's like a sensory jolt.
Yeah, like you just made a deal with a druid. So a bit of, his powers are, drifting through the connection over to you. And after a moment, the sense subsides.
Ooh.
The world goes back to how it felt before. And he lets go of your hand. All right.
Look into the wineskin real quick, kind of like close one eye and peer into it. Look up at him, look around, and then I'm gonna, still looking around, I'm gonna hand it out. I'm gonna hand it back to him and go, "This is good stuff."
You can keep the wineskin.
Blink a couple times. Okay.
He reaches into his satchel and pulls out a small leather pouch that he hands to you. These are the seeds.
Ah.
They're very particular seeds. Like just planting a regular, old tree. Well, good, and definitely something I would commend. Isn't quite what I'm going for. These seeds, though, are imbued with a little bit of magic. They'll rejuvenate the world around them. Help spread more trees. While also paying attention to the environment around it. So if you plant it on East Loran, you're not going to get a big, dense forest like you would here on Alcrea. You would get a fresh field of wildflowers surrounding a nice big elm. Stuff like that.
Okay.
But I suppose I will give you another bit of fair warning in regards to these seeds. I've tried. They do not work in the Grey Wastes.
I'm just gonna put this in. Other notes. That I have seeds that don't work in the Grey Wastes, because I don't know where to put these, because seeds don't appear on regular inventory.
You're able to add a custom inventory item.
Okay.
I think it's under Manage. Inventory. Other possessions, if you click on it, down at the bottom of your inventory, it lets you just type in items.
Oh. Okay, so these would be magical seeds.
Yes. The pouch contains about 20 seeds. Yes. They don't work in the Grey Wastes. I've tried a number of times to help rejuvenate that blasted section of stone. But my magic has been unsuccessful. Because, I suppose, technically speaking, I am still just a mortal who hasn't got the memo to die yet. But, similarly, with every seed you plant, the increased presence of my magic will also increase in the world around you, which can draw the attention of the Fae. So, starting out, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Later on, who's to say?
So plant before, yeah, plant before I leave. Then,
I trust
Do
your
they need-
discretion.
do they need any particular care?
They'll manage.
It's a plant and go scenario.
Just something to keep in mind.
Okay.
I suppose. Stipulation. I did say I don't care if you steal. Just don't, identify me or say it was in my name, any of that. One thing I will not abide by, and if I catch wind of you doing it, you can say bye-bye to your deal, is wanton destruction of the environment or its creatures. Like, by all means, go hunting, but if you just slaughter, like, a flock of baby birds, or burn down a forest, I'm going to have words. I am a druid after all.
I mean that only makes sense.
My goal is to better the environment of the ring.
Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Then we have the deal. Congratulations, Obsidian. You are my first warlock. He holds up his flask and tilts it back.
That's. Do you have a tent? I'm gonna need to sleep this off.
No, I do not have a tent, but you can borrow a bedroll.
That'll do. And he'll
The
pull
weather
off
remains
the fake nose.
quite pleasant here.
Good, good. He'll pull off the fake nose he's been wearing this whole time and tuck it in his pocket.
He laughs.
Sorry,
You are
more of a
free to rest here.
more of a button nose.
And
it's
should you
bulbous.
wish, come morning, before I move camp, you can either come along for the free ride, or you can go back out to our Selenor.
I don't want to look gift horses in its mouths in mouths. I don't pry open horses' mouths, so I think I'll probably go with. They're probably gonna try and arrest me if I go back out there. I'll take a ride.
All right, the borrowed vase.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe they found it, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I had to leave it. I might
Well,
have to
you're
go home
welcome to
empty-handed
stay.
this time.
Oh, what do you mean empty-handed? You just got a satchel full of magic seeds.
Yeah, well, yeah. There is that, but
But no, empty-handed.
these aren't for other people to know about, huh? Huh?
He's mocking indignation. Or feigning indignation, there we go.
Seeds are indeed nice, but I do need to come home with something for my mother, so...
Oh, well, in that case, he reaches into his satchel, fidgets around a little bit. Bear in mind, this isn't worth anything, but it does look nice. He pulls out a carved wooden trinket, made out of very fine ebony. A little more than a bauble, but give it to your mother.
Well, she always says it's the thought that counts. I usually bring her gold, but I'm sure she'll be pleased with, something else for once.
Yeah, like, closer inspection, you see the carved wood. It's got a bit of a scenery on it. It's sort of like a ball, and as you filter around on the other side, there's a little bit of ivory set in, and it's the likeness of Lisha.
Gotcha.
And Lisha is spelt Laoise.
Laoise.
Yes,
I'm putting... Yeesh.
a pronunciation guide.
Yeah. I would not have expected that, so yep, pronunciation
It's
guide.
Irish, so
Ah,
yes. And now, Master Obsidian, he gestures, and there's already a bedroll laid out. You may turn in whenever you like. I'm going to go back to my journal.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for everything, I suppose.
Of course. Thank you for occupying my time.
Didn't want
It's
to be
been a
rude, but
while since I have chatted with anybody besides the bird.
conversations they can be heavy, huh?
I suppose. Felt pretty light for me, but I wasn't the one conversing with a nigh immortal.
Yep.
You have a lot of
Yeah.
wine to sleep off.
Yeah. Yep. I do. He's gonna toss down his backpack and his gear next to the bedroll, and he's gonna stretch and just kind of... in the morning. I'll see you then. Maybe. Will I?
Who's
Yeah.
to say? Depends on how deep of a sleeper you are.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess. Like, yeah.
Roll
Who
me
knows?
a d20.
9.
9. When you wake up, you are... There's a small town on the continent of Ulyss, sort of the inland lake. I believe it is Old Town. Port Aurum. There we go. You recognize the area, because this is where, like, all the surface trade comes in, and is considered the unofficial capital of Ulyss. It's got the largest market district and easy access to the rest of the continent.
Okay. Easy enough access. It's probably got access then to the underground.
Oh yeah, it's how the surface gets down into the dwarven cities easily in the main access.
Gotcha.
So, Rorik dropped you off so you can go speak with your mother.
Is there any would I know like what time it is or like day, like what happened? Is it like the next day?
Yes, it's daylight. You've woken up. He did the jump between day and night.
Okay.
And dropped you off.
So basically he probably saved me like, I don't know, like 2 months of travel or like a month of travel or something.
Depending on what method you used.
Yeah.
He pretty much transited you about maybe a quarter of the way around the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a fifth.
Whew. Well, talk about expeditious. All right. Well, let's go see Mom.
And we can call it there.
All right. God damn. God, that's fun.
Enjoy it?
That's good stuff. Yeah.
All right. Glad to hear.
I was like, man, I don't know what to ask this guy. Trying not to get. Oh man. I like it.
Good to hear.
I suppose I should level up.
Yes, now that you actually have a leveling warlock.
Yes. Let's go to the builder. To the character builder.
Oh, and another bit worth noting. I'm a big fan of detailing Eldritch Blast to the specific patron. Like if you would recall, back when Kel became a warlock, every time he fired his Eldritch Blast, the sound of a slamming book echoed. Because his patron was a librarian. Yours is a druid. So, every time you fire your Eldritch Blast, you smell that tea. The blend of pine needles and wildflowers.
Pine needles and wildflowers. Let me see here. Notes. Well, I'm sure I'll just throw that in. Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. Is that a E or an H at the end?
Oh, it's just a T. I forgot the rest. Eldritch. Wait, how the fuck? I forgot how to spell it. It's T. Is it C-T-C-H? No, I forgot how to spell it.
R-I-T-C-H. Ritch.
Ritc. Oh,
Eldritch.
my brain was just.
And
Yeah, there we go.
specifically, like, you can take off the T bit. Just pine needles and wildflowers.
Okay. Does it have a particular coloration? Is it a greenish? I would assume it would be
Yeah.
a vibrant green.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe dotted with like some yellow swirls.
It's green, but some of those little motes of light that were floating around. Not going to actually cast light. Like, it won't
Right.
make the room brighter.
No, right. It's just
Like a tracer
what?
round. You
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
it in
yeah.
the dark.
What were those motes, or were they just kind of multicolored?
Just, white light. Like, they weren't any particular spell, they were just, like, almost like magical fireflies.
Like fireflies. Lovely. Lovely. What do you mean? You're assuming I'm taking Eldritch Blast? What is this?
A warlock that doesn't take Eldritch Blast isn't a warlock.
Yeah. God, what did I say? I can't remember.
I think you were saying Celestial?
I think it was Celestial. I believe I said Celestial. Let me
Because I know at
make
one
sure
point you
here.
said something like Pact of the Genie or whatever. Or was it
Yeah,
that you
and then
made a Djinn?
No, I was thinking of Genie, but then I didn't want to do that. Okay, Cure Wounds, Guiding Bolt. This gets Flame Strike. Yikes. Flaming Sphere. Boy, there's a lot of fire for a guy who's not supposed to.
Hey,
hurt
worth
the
noting,
wilderness.
fire is an important part of nature.
That's true.
Like, there are types of pine forests that only start growing new growth after a forest fire. He
True.
just said don't wantonly destroy the environment.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. The Archfey is Fairy Fire Sleep, Fey Presence. Misty Escape, Beguiling Defenses, Dark Delirium.
I mean, you could always turn Rorik in and get a Archfey act.
Right. No, I think because this healing light, I think this sounds right. I wanted to be I wanted to have some healing style. Like Radiant Soul. Yeah, this one sounds right. Because I know I wasn't going with the Hexblade. I definitely was not going with like the Fiend or the Great Old One. You know, any of those like evilish sounding ones. The Undying and the Undead. God, that's the part that annoys me about just basic Warlock is it just like it always just sounds so evil.
I mean, yeah, which kind of makes sense because in essence you are selling your soul to an extent.
Yeah.
You're making a deal with a higher power. Like, you're not worshiping a god, you're making a deal.
I just like that they came up with some ones that aren't so like douchebaggy, like you're an evil pawn.
Like, even then, like, Archfey is very ambiguous. Like, Fae, they're not good,
True.
they're not evil, they're in it for themselves.
Yeah. What do we want to do for this expanded, like these additional options?
Additional
Like this one
options.
is the spell list expands the warlock spell list. Basically, I don't think it gives you these for free. I think you can basically pick from these extra spells that they in later in later um,
Yeah.
books decided should be warlock spells as well. So I
Which,
think I can pick from them.
yeah, like I will say sure, but eliminating ones that are not aligned with Rorik. So like Green Flame Blade, sure. Lightning Lure, sure. Mind Sliver, no. Summon
Mind Sliver,
Aberration,
no. Okay.
no.
Yeah, there are certain things that just thematically it wouldn't make sense for me to take.
Yeah,
If I ever take one in forgetting that, just yeah, remind like summon Shadow Spawn. Yeah, probably not.
yeah. So like
Summon
touch
Undead.
bases with
No.
me. I'll let you know if it's like good to go or no.
I feel well, it probably won't limit me based on which patron, but maybe it does. I don't remember exactly how it determines which ones.
Hmm.
It has an asterisk, but it doesn't say what the asterisk. Details. What is this? When you reach a classic grants ability score improvement, you can do one following, representing a change in your focus in your occult studies. That just feels like a good idea to just be able to swap these out.
Hmm.
Eldritch versatility. Basically, you can just swap out a cantrip or something, or you can swap out a packed boon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I mean, that's just yeah, evolution of like playing. Like, if you have something useless, why wouldn't you swap it out, right?
Yeah. Doesn't lock you in.
Yeah.
Sort of like the variant rules for retraining levels.
Eldritch blast.
Blast.
Eldritch boom. Oh boy. And you know, I'm no arcane trickster, but you know, mage hand. That's in my wheelhouse.
Mage Hand is a very fun one.
Yeah, for my character, he would be like, why wouldn't I take mage hand? Other than maybe the fact that minor illusion could be pretty useful.
Yeah, you can Metal Gear Solid it. Make a box over you.
The second one is going to be pure utility or role play. Is what the second cantrip is going to be.
Yeah, and nothing says that more than prestidigitation.
I always love looking at the prestidigitation notes. I
You
really
can't
want
go
mage hand.
wrong with prestidigitafuck it.
I really want mage hand, but prestidigitation just sounds because I won't have mage hand ledgermate. Right,
Yeah,
ledgermate. Is that how you
the
say it?
legitimate.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have that. I really think I'm just gonna go with prestidigitation.
Yeah, like without it, it's okay.
Light a little candle with it. Yeah. I can heat up my own tea. Oh my god. Yep. Boom. I like the harmless sensory effect that you can do with it. I love the
Oh yeah,
possible utility of that.
like prestidigitation is just the only limit outside of what it writes there is just your imagination. And if you
Hmm.
describe it well enough, any DM worth his salt will be like, yeah, sure. So long as it's not overtly breaking.
Yeah.
I think Armor of
Okay.
Agathis, that was a solid one, wasn't it? Gives you like the ice armor.
Yeah, it gives you temporary HP based on the level, and
Right.
then essentially, if they don't break it in one hit, they will get hit again with more shatter damage, with more recoil damage.
Mm.
You gain 5 temporary HP. You have a creature attacks you with while you have these hit points with a melee attack. While you have these hit points, the creature takes 5 cold damage for each level of second or higher. Increases by 5 per level. So yeah, like a 5th level warlock using Armor of Agathis, 25 temporary HP. If they only do 20 damage to you, they're taking 25 cold damage on that first hit, and then they need to hit me again to break it, and then they're taking another 25 cold damage. But I don't know if that would be double checking if for flavor that would be my
I mean, as far as flavor goes, it's ice-based, which is an element, ergo druid.
True. So like per per kind of going along with the theme, I would stay away from maybe psychic, or I
Yeah.
would utilize less like psychic or what else am I trying to think of?
Like, you're not going to be able to really bypass Eldritch Blast's force damage,
Right, yeah.
but yeah, like Psychic, he doesn't deal with at all. But, you know, fire, electricity, ice.
A lot of evocation.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't deal with acid,
Right.
just
Or
because acid is
poison.
just purely destructive.
Mm-hmm. Um per
Alright.
per my per Obsidian's purview on life, he would take distort value.
Never actually even really taken a look at that one.
You can get a little more money out of stuff. And when I'm trying to sell shit, he would use distort value.
Seems minor-ish. But
I don't know. For a little while at least, I'm trying to like, in the interim between session 0 and start of campaign, this is what he would this is some of what he would use the magic for.
can appreciate the flavoring.
Yeah. I mean, depending on how long you have us at level 2, I won't stick with it for that long. Again, still, until campaign, until adventure starts, he's still more of just like a thief with a little magic. So it's not like I don't consider him to need like offensive spells right now. You know what I mean?
This didn't come up during any of the questioning. Comprehend languages would also fit Rurik.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. I know that leaves me with literally an offensive cantrip.
Yeah.
But
Which, to be fair, your offensive cantrip is Eldritch Blast.
yeah, it is the bread and butter.
It's force damage, which nothing resists. Well, most everything doesn't resist.
Yeah,
And just
literally the only
offering up more flavor. If you wanted to go for flavor, you don't need to take it.
I mean, the only other thing I would take is probably Guiding Bolt. But yeah, when do warlocks get to change their spells again?
Couldn't tell you.
This is some
Magic based, so I have very limited association with.
Yeah, let me look it up here. Pack magic. Cantrip spell slots. Uh, Okay. So when you gain a level in Warlock, you can swap out some spells. Honestly, I think that would just be part of character development and character building if for a while I just had like, my pre-adventuring abilities and then starting on, when we start the campaign, if then it turns out like, oh, like, we're getting into X sort of encounters or whatever, then Obsidian goes, well, I need to swap out some spells, next time I grow.
Hmm. Yeah, I like it. It was a good session 0.
Yes, it was.
Got to poke into some of the finer details of Obsidian, and you got to learn about one of the most elusive men on Elysium.
Mm-hmm. All right, you know what might make even more sense instead of distort value would be expeditious retreat. Oh man, I have to do it. Comprehend languages and expeditious retreat. That just makes so much sense flavor-wise. Oh my god. All right. Now I can go anywhere and sell anything because I can understand. You understand the literal meaning of any spoken language. Yep, I can understand languages.
Yep, considering
and
early on in this, right at the start, you couldn't understand an elf.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy, now I can understand languages and I can get the fuck out of places faster.
Yeah. The flavor-wise for comprehend languages, Rorik is able to speak most all of the languages on Elysia.
I mean, the guy's had a long time to learn languages. That's pretty
He
good.
has. He's a nerd who needed something to occupy his time.
Mm-hmm.
So he started with languages for all of those people he can't talk to.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, glad you had fun.
The only bummer is I'm delaying my stat increase or feat until, 5th level, but, whatever.
I mean, I understand that. Like, same thing happened with Skarnir.
Yeah. It's a choice you gotta make. That is exciting.
It's the main drawback that 5e gives you for multi-classing.
Mm-hmm.
Which, compared to the drawbacks for Pathfinder's multi-classing, it's actually viable in this edition.
Oh, shit. I am going to...
And unless I'm mistaken, like, warlocks, they get, like... What is it? No, I'm thinking clerics. Like a symbol of their patron.
Yeah, no, I don't think warlocks...
Yeah, I'm thinking clerics.
Yeah, light crossbow or any simple weapon. A component pouch. Oh, or an arcane focus. That's their starting equipment. I suppose I don't really have that unless... Because I don't think multi-classing, you don't get that unless we do a little backtrack. And is there anything maybe that Rourke would enchant for Obsidian to morph into an arcane focus?
After a couple of years of doing things, he'd probably, recognize the importance. Like, you can buy arcane foci.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd probably whip you up something.
Okay.
I'll think on what it would be. Get back to you.
Because he does have that little pendant that he had.
Ooh.
I don't know if that would count. But let me tell you,
He
if
would.
there's anything that...
How, like, protective is Obi about that? Like, if Rurik
Very.
altered it slightly.
I don't think he'd mind if he altered it, but like he's very like, I'm not gonna lose this.
Like, similar to the ebony wood bauble that had the dove form in it. Like, if he put, like, a small, like, ivory dove symbol in the obsidian.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Alright, in the center of the obsidian pendant, there's the form of a dove line and profile.
Nice. Let me see here. Over the years, between 0 to 1, session 0 to 1, would it be feasible that I could just buy a book?
How
With
much
the
are
money
books?
earned and lost. It says books are 25 gold, but that seems a lot.
Yeah.
I just want to buy a thesaurus.
Thesaurus?
Yes. I am specifically, I feel like sometimes in roleplay I can get a little like just into a rut of the same words. So I'm literally going to try and use a thesaurus during gameplay to like spice up. Okay, here's a sneak peek into like the future of this character because it doesn't go too deep into the future of this character. Because you get like, what do you get? Warlock level 3, you get the Pact boon. Obsidian is going to go with Pact of the Tome.
Nice, I like
and
it.
It says your patron gives you a grimoire called the Book of Shadows. We're going to have to think of a different word,
Yeah,
a different title for this because
it's not going to be the
Book of
Shadows.
Like it could be like the Book of I don't know. It could be like the Book of Plants, Animals, and Spells, or like it could be like
he was writing in a journal when you walked in. He could give you one of his personal journals.
But see, I was thinking that he could morph the thesaurus so that it could be have spell pages in it or something.
Thesaurus.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're sure you want the thesaurus to be the book,
it could just magically add pages as different effects get added to it. Because he's gonna carry around a thesaurus anyway.
Which I'm fine for flavor, and if you want the thesaurus to be the Book of Shadows,
I don't know. If you think of something better, certainly we can do that. Like he could.
I mean,
like,
the thesaurus being the arcane thing is just kind of weird, at least from my point of view. But if you want to do it, it's not weird at all.
It could be one of the journals.
It's odd.
Or whatever.
It's odd, not weird. Weird is negative connotation. Odd is unexpected.
Exactly. That's why. No, we can do whatever you want with it. It was just an idea.
Yeah.
Because I honestly don't know what we would call the book, because I don't really think the Book of Shadows would be fitting.
Let's see. Ancestral Tome.
Ancestral Tome, okay. I'm gonna note that. Just so I don't forget.
Specifically in some of the earlier pages in a language you can't decipher, there are journal entries from Rurik and a number of his other ancestors.
Okay, so when I get Pact of the Tome, I'm gonna have the Ancestral Tome.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna put that in my ally notes.
Just a chronological tome from past druids.
Called the Ancestral. I'm butchering that. Oh, I think I got an Ancestral Tome. Yeah, so I was like, oh, Book of Shadows sounds so downer.
Yeah, it's very edgelord.
Mhm. But I already had the idea that he would be a book boy.
I can appreciate Rurik is a very book guy.
It's because Pact of the Chain didn't sound right for what I wanted to do, and Pact of the Blade, I'm not gonna be blading it up.
If you did end up taking Pact of the Chain, you would get a dove. Just saying.
I, I had to think about that for a second. I was like, huh, you know what? I bet you he already had one in mind. Um, yeah, no, I had planned on the tome for a long time.
Pact of the Tome is fun.
Yeah.
Like, being able to, like, get to the point where you can write rituals into it, it's so nice.
That's one of the big reasons.
Like,
That is...
especially because when you get to that, like, you'll be, I want to say, one of the few... Amanda's gonna be a sorcerer. Do they get they get rituals, or is that a wizard thing?
Wizards can just write that shit down in their book.
Yeah.
So yeah, wizards essentially get unlimited rituals.
Right. Sorcerers are spontaneous about it.
Well, I think most classes, unless I'm wrong, I think most classes can cast rituals as long as they do it the slow way without expending a slot. Even sorcerers and clerics and stuff. I do believe. Let's see.
Ritual.
Well, maybe they don't have ritual casting.
Certain spells have a special tag, ritual. Such a spell can be cast by following the normal rules for spell casting, or the spell can be cast as a ritual. So, a ritual spell has the option of being cast as a ritual. The ritual version takes 10 minutes longer to cast than normal and doesn't expend a spell slot. Cast a ritual, a spellcaster must have a feature that grants the ability to do so. The cleric and the druid, for example, have such a feature. The caster must also have the spell prepared or on his list of spells known, otherwise the character's ritual feature, or unless those character's ritual feature specifies otherwise, as the wizard's does. So, cleric and druid can cast rituals, wizard can cast rituals, but unless it states that they can cast rituals.
Right, so we have wizard.
Like, because the Pact of the Tome is how warlocks get to the point where they can cast rituals.
Right, otherwise regular warlocks. The other two cannot do ritual casting.
Yes.
I'm curious, does the bard do ritual casting? Probably not.
I'm gonna guess no. Why not just
control
control F? Oh.
Yeah, you can ritual cast bard spells that have the ritual tag. Bards are so jack of all trade, I figured they probably did. Because, I mean, not that everything has to follow specific rules, but just falling back on critical role knowledge in Campaign 1, Sam Riegel played a bard who definitely ritual casted something similar to like Leomund's tiny hut or something, like every time they wanted to sleep out in the wilderness. It's the only reason that I was pretty sure that they had ritual casting. Oh, even artificers have ritual casting. It sounds like they just kind of said no to sorcerers and most warlocks and who else? Sorcerers. Is it just sorcerers mostly? Because they have, you know, that would almost make sense because their magic is mostly just innate versus
it's their blood.
Yeah, so
They
it
don't
kind of
learn
makes
it at
sense.
all, and it's not granted to them. It's just in their blood. They are
Yeah.
entirely spontaneous.
Yeah, that would make sense then. And then it makes sense here that paladins don't seem to have it.
Which also makes sense.
Yeah, they're
They're
less.
they're a watered down cleric.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I doubt rangers have it. I don't even think rangers have any rituals for the most part. Nope, no rituals. That makes sense. I was gonna say because they're magic light, but
Babies for
artificers technically.
spellcaster.
Yeah, but artificers are also technically spell light. I think because they only get up to 5th level spells. I believe.
Something like that.
Which matches the ranger. Yeah, they have the same exact spell layout as rangers, except for they are innately more magical focused with their tinkering and their imbuing items. But technically, they are the same spell. Spell level, actually. Oh, that's infusions known. They have the same level of spell slot that a ranger does. But their infusions make them way more magical, so. Oh man, I could get that sweet agonizing blast, add on that charisma. It's gonna be weird for me to not add a modifier to damage at level, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I'm used to adding the dex modifier or, mostly dex modifier for whatever classes I've played right away to damage. Ooh, another thing I can get is Aspect of the Moon with the tome. I don't need to sleep. I can basically just keep watching, read my book at night.
Oh, I thought that one was specifically Pact of the Fae.
No, Pact of the Tome feature, Aspect of the Moon. You need to do light activity for 8 hours, such as reading your Book of Shadows and keeping watch. So essentially, I could just be on watch for 8 hours and still get a long rest. Like, that's pretty sweet. Let's see, what other cool things are there here? Book of Ancient Secrets. That's the one with rituals,
That's rituals.
right? Yep. That's, yeah, that one I'm definitely taking, like right away. Because I like this. The part where on your adventure you can add other ritual spells to your book.
Which is key.
Exactly.
Like, it's the watered down version of the wizard thing where you can just add spells.
Yeah.
But being able to add rituals, real nice.
Yeah, it makes you a little more wizardy with the Ancient Secrets. The only thing is, I just like a wizard, I need rare inks. I've never understood Cloak of Flies.
Yeah, it feels like a flavor one.
Yeah. Eyes of the Runekeeper is probably a good one. That would be a real flavor. That would real good flavor that would make sense thematically.
Especially when taking into account, like, the inspiration I had for Rourke. Like, he was specifically a Runekeeper.
Mm-hmm. You were just hovering on my face now. God damn it.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise it would just be me chatting with you. I'm not telling a story. I'm just, having a back and forth. At least with this,
Gotcha.
like, people watching my stream can have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, like what I'm doing. just mulling over the stuff that I've already planned out a lot of this. I always like double checking these because I have not done a warlock before, so I always like doing these, looking over these invocations to just familiarize myself with them.
Yeah. There are some fun ones.
Like I don't remember exactly, like I don't even remember how many invocations I get like at each level and stuff. I think it's at least one per level. Or maybe it's one every other level. Because the Far Scribe, I was thinking of doing that, I think. Oh, Gift of the Protectors, that one's a good one. Da, da, da. Oh yeah, Mask of Many Faces. That's gonna be my role play bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if I had not gone level 1 rogue, and if I was gonna be level 2 warlock now, this would have been the first one I would have picked. Would have been Mask of Many Faces. Heavy role play purposes on that one. Let's see. What else was I looking up? Oh, it's just weird to me. I don't think I'm creative enough to effectively use Tomb of Levistus.
Damage. Okay, switch. Wait. Fires. Okay.
Like I could see the obvious use, where you basically become a temporary tank, but if they break through it, like you're in trouble. See what were some other. I'm getting to the end here. Yeah, that's it. I can't remember if there are others in. I don't remember if this automatically updates to add Tasha's and all that stuff.
Oh, also somewhat flavorful, right down at the bottom, which site, if it's not adequately titled.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be, Rourke knew that he was wearing a fake nose the whole time. Concealed by, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Back to the tome. Gonna get that Book of Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
That Book of Ancestors. Ancestral book.
Right. Then, did we want to do any more gaming tonight?
I should probably go run Lena around a bit. She has been just kind of on her own for like 3 hours.
Alright, well, if you wanted to do more,
3.5.
gives me time to go make dinner and then come back and do stuff. Otherwise,
No.
I don't have D&D tomorrow.
Ooh, you don't, do ya? We should game tomorrow.
Alright.
Because tomorrow is also a stream day for me, so definitely gonna do that.
Alright.
Alright.
Talk to you then.
Yeah, maybe at some point I'll figure out how to how to make you hear all these sound effects.
Hmm.
I even have a bleep button. Where all I want.
I don't hear any beeping. It just cuts your mic.
Yeah, that's the point. It cuts the mic and it beeps. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you
don't hear
can't
any
hear the
beep.
beeping.
So it just sounds like your mic cuts out. Now, again, I hear the beginning of that one.
I'm wondering why it doesn't work. You know what? Let me look at one thing here. Oh, those levels are all at 100. Is that any louder?
For literally nothing.
God damn it. God damn it, Bobby. Why can't you hear it? I was hoping if maybe when I talked, it would do the same thing. Or it
Nope.
would be able to.
Sorry.
I guess then these ones are wasted.
I mean, I kind of heard that one.
Well, you heard the fart noise?
Sounds like a buzz.
Oh, it's a fart. What about this? What if I turn this up?
Buzz. But everybody knows fart humor is the lowest form of humor.
Yeah, and I'm not above being real low at my humor.
Hey, Barney.
Anything? I was gonna use some of these to like do like some creepy whispers and shit.
Hmm.
Dang it. Oh well, one of
Yeah.
these days I'll get it to work.
No dice.
No, I have a lot of dice, okay?
There are two things in this world I know. Dice and no dice. And
No
this
dice.
is no dice.
Oh no. Well, I guess I'll just pack up all these dice then.
I've got a steak to go cook.
I have to go make a sandwich.
Yeah, I made the mistake before our session started. I was looking through the D&D cookbook and getting very hungry.
Ooh.
So I'm
Yeah,
probably
that
gonna also try making one of the bread recipes.
nice. I expect some fresh bread.
You will get none of it.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Just like to reiterate how hype I am.
Glad you still think that after this dip into the water.
Yeah. God, that's fun to spam. I'm gonna just gonna dream of the day when we actually start playing, you know?
At the, like, 3 weeks.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna dream of the day when we start playing. Cause there's a bunch of hype over here. Um
You keep trying. Anyway. Talk to you later, Alex.
talk to you later. Oh, everybody. Everybody. Get out of here. Just kidding, I'm gonna disconnect.
All the boys and girls all around the world.
They're all excited, okay? They're all
I
super
wish.
excited.
Wish we had that
What?
kind of audience.
Oh, hey, one day. One day. You just gotta keep spreading it to the people you know, because I don't know anybody. So you gotta keep spreading it to the people you know.
I could be the next Matt Mercer.
Oh, you could be. You just gotta develop your world more.
When I grow up, I want to be Matt Mercer.
Hey, you be your own person, okay? You
I'll,
you be your own person.
uh, uh, Zach Mercer.
You'll get there one day. You'll get there. All right. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Catch
Let's
you later.
yeah, let's do some like Stardew or something tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Or another game. I don't know. What do we have?
Eh, I say more
We've
Stardew. We're almost to the next
yeah,
spring.
yeah. I don't know. How long in your mind, how long do we want to do that before we attempt another game?
At
Or do we
least
just want
part
to
way
keep going?
through year 3.
Okay.
Because honestly, we're sitting pretty good. We could probably get the Statue of Perfection, which makes it a lot more reasonable to get Iridium ore,
Hmm.
and thus, like, usually my final goal is all Iridium tools. But, like, there's still a part of the map we've never been to before.
Which part is that?
The island, which we need to repair Willie's boat.
Oh, right.
Like, we still haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, we do need to. Oh my god, I just figured out how to show the fucking campaign.
Oh,
The new characters.
oh,
Yeah, I have to configure I have to go to campaign selection.
oh, Brad.
But I'm gonna switch back to tyranny because,
God, everybody is at 17 health except for Amanda's character.
oh, is she like squish at like
She's the
13?
sorcerer.
Yeah.
She has 14. Otherwise, literally everybody has 17 health.
I mean, a lot of us did do some
You're all D8s except for Amanda, who's a D6.
yeah.
Right? D6?
I think so. Let's hide inspiration on there.
Anyway, talk to you later.
Yes. Bye now.
Well, bye.
Have a great time.
And thank you all for tuning in and watching. And if it's through the VOD, I hope you enjoyed that little peek behind the curtains before we kick off my newest homebrew campaign.